Bob FM.
Sorry. I just don't like to turn the car off until the song's over. But, here I am. I'm not sure what you're actually seeing behind me right now, but, over there is my yoga class. I'm here for yoga. It's mommy's quiet time. During the school year, my daughter had preschool on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and, it just so happened that, this yoga class met Tuesday, Thursday mornings at almost the same times. I could drop my daughter off, come here, and by the time the class was over, it was time to go pick her up, and it was perfectly timed, except that there was about a half-hour block in between when I dropped my daughter off and the yoga class actually started. So my general theory was I would use that time to write. So it was across the board mommy's quiet recharging time. Unfortunately, many of those times I did not use the time to write. I used it to run errands, but now my daughter's out of school, but I'm still coming to yoga because it's important to me. Oh, I want to show you something first. This is my view. I could get out of the car, I suppose. And you probably can't see clearly, but that sign says private property. No one is actually allowed to use that gazebo except the people who use it, and it's right out here on the edge of this lake here. I don't know who those people are and why they're so selfish. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, quiet place. Now you can look back at the parking lot. The yoga class. Yoga is something I discovered I need. Just as much as I need a quiet, beautiful, outdoorsy sitting at time. I discovered yoga about a decade ago. It was wonderful for me, this extremely unathletic person, to find an activity that was all about what you can do and what you can't do. It wasn't about some outside arbitrary goals that some buff person set. It was about actually feeling in your body and figuring out what you could do, and I discovered that I definitely could do more than I thought, although I do have weaknesses. There were many years I didn't go to yoga, but I tried again last fall, and it is exactly what I need to be a whole and well-rounded person. My friend Kat, I don't know if you remember her, she was one of the founders of the Introvert Social Hour, sent me a personality quiz, test, personality types thing last summer, which turned out to be extremely enlightening. I mean, I'd taken like the Myers-Briggs before, but it always couldn't decide whether I was J or T or L or, I don't even know what the letters are. The only thing I was sure of was the I, which should be obvious. That's why I have a vlog on the Introvert Social Hour channel. But the one she had was the Enneagram. I think I said that correctly. I don't know. There are 9 personality types, and it's interesting. All the 9 types are linked to other things, like the 7 deadly sins. They added 2 more to even it out. Each type is more likely to fall prey to one of the deadly sins over the others, and in fact type 9s are most prone to sloth, which I have always known. We tend to live in our minds, which is an introvert thing too, I suppose. We're out of touch with our bodies and our instincts and just in general the physical aspect of reality. And I always wondered why things like meditation never really seemed to do much for me. The problem is that I need something physical to be my complete self. I need to get moving, which has always been a problem for me. I mean, if I didn't have it, I would just retreat more and more into my happy little mind cocoon. When I go to yoga, It brings out the action-oriented person in me. I feel strong afterwards. I feel like I can do something. I feel like I am not just experiencing the world, but I'm actually having an effect on it. I'll be back later. It's time for class. I'm back. Here's the outside, you remember? Hour and a half later. The only difference now is I'm really sweaty. And also, like I said, yeah, I think I'm a little bit more assertive and present here today. And anyway, I was thinking of something else. You know how I started out and I couldn't turn the car radio off? That's my car radio. It's turned off right now because I just got back in the car. I was thinking about the corollary between my need for yoga, my need for the physicality of making my life balanced, and my love of rock and roll. I have mentioned I am a music lover across the board, and music is something that does tie every aspect of yourself together. It does tie the mental and the spiritual and the physical together, and just by nature of its being. And rock and roll is a particularly physical genre. I like the hard driving beats of it. Yeah, I'm sure you're tired of looking at my radio. Hi. Maybe that's why I've always had a thing for rock, even more so than other kinds of music, or just because I'm so not rock and roll, as I've addressed in other videos. Maybe the aggressiveness of rock and the fact that I love it so much is me trying to round out my personality a little bit. It taps into that aspect of my personality which is not very present in day-to-day life. It brings out the wild side. Or at least acknowledges that a wild side exists, which I suppose is the real truth of the matter. So yeah, this is the place I go to become whole, and now it's time to go home and be a whole mom. Okay, good night.